Here in this video, we will learn about what are hooks. Hooks in React. Hooks are like a special tools in React that help you manage things like state and side effects in your components without needing to use a classes. Think of them as a shortcuts that make your life easier when building user interface. This is all about why what is hooks. Like like a basic definition of React hooks is hooks are a special function in React that let you use state and other React features in functional components. They were introduced in React 16.8. Next, we move to the why use hooks. Before hooks, you could only use a state and lifecycle methods in class components. Hooks allows you to use these features in functional components, making your code cleaner and easier to understand. Like before hooks, if you wanted to keep track of something like a number of clicks or do something when a component appears on the screen, like fetching data, you had to use a class components. Hooks let you do all of these functional components, which are simpler and easier to read, right? So that is the reason we need to use a hooks in React. Next, key hooks explained in key hooks to know is first one is use state. What it does, it lets you create a piece of state in your component. States is like a box where you can store the information that can change over a time. For example, imagine you have a counter that start at 0. You can use a use state to keep track of how many times a button has been clicked. So this is the first one is use state. Next one is another one is use effect. What it does is it lets you run some code when your components is created or updated. This is usefully for things like fetching data from a server, setting up a timer, like that. If you want to fetch some data when your component first appears, you use the use effect. This is the key hooks. Next one is the use context. It allows you to access the data that is shared across your app without having to pass it down through every component. If you have a theme like light or dark mode that you want to use in many places, you use use context to get the theme easily. This is the three hooks keys key hooks in React. Next one is benefits of using hooks. Like simplicity. Hooks makes your code cleaner and easier to understand. Next one is reusability. You can create your own hooks to share a logic between different components, right? So that is the reason we use the reusability. Next, no more classes. You can state and lifecycle features. You can use the state and lifecycle features without needing to write a class components, which can be more complex, right? So this is all about hooks in React. The React hooks are tools that help you manage state and side effects in a simpler way. They allow you to write a cleaner, more understandable code in functional components by using hooks like a use state, use effect. You can easily keep track of changing a data and perform the action when your components are created or updated. This is all about the hooks concepts in React.